Hey, this is Nick, and this is a tutorial on creating, running, and deploying your very first smart contract with NEO. If you haven't already gotten your dev environment set up based on our previous tutorial, I've left a link to it down in the description below, and I suggest that you go through that before proceeding. To get started, we're going to first check to see that our Docker container is running that contains our NEO private net. You can check this by typing in docker ps to get a list of your active containers and search for your NEO privnet with gas container. In the case that your container is not currently running, but you have already instantiated it, what you can do is type in docker ps-a to show a list of your inactive containers. From here, you can copy the container ID and type in docker start and paste your container ID in. Now that we have our Docker container up and running, we can proceed to SSH into the Docker container with the following command. Once in the container, we can proceed to navigate to our NeoPython folder at opt/neopython. So now we can get started on writing our first contract. So what you can do is on your local machine, open up your favorite text editor. Once it's open, we're going to create a new file and save it to the directory that we marked as our shared folder with our Docker container. Please remember that this is very important, or else you're not going to be able to access your contract file from within your container. So for my file, I'm just going to name it helloworld.py. So for our very first contract, it's going to be very simple. I've left it in the blog post, and you can just copy it and paste it into your saved file. In this script, we're going to have one function called main. This is the script that'll be called when the smart contract is invoked. And within that main function, we're just going to do two things. First, we're just going to print the string hello world. And second, we're just going to return the Boolean value true. So from here, we can just hit save, and we can navigate back to our Docker container. Once back in the container, what we can do is check to see that we have the file in the right place by typing ls smart contracts. And as you can see here, we have our helloworld.py file. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the NEO CLI. And then we're going to compile our smart contract code with the command build. It's going to take one argument, and it's going to be the path to your helloworld.py file. And here you can see we have our helloworld.avm file. This is the compiled version of our helloworld.py file. We're going to again open up our wallet with open wallet main wallet, typing in our password of COZ. Now we're going to run our import contract statement. This statement has a few arguments, the first of which is a path to the contract file. The second is its input types. The third is its output types. The fourth and the fifth are Boolean values for does it need storage and does it need something called dynamic invoke. We're not going to worry too much about these today. I'll go over those in a future tutorial video. So for now, what we can do is we can just copy what we have here. So for our command, we're going to have import contract, and the path is going to be smartcontracts/helloworld.avm. We're going to have an empty string because we don't have any inputs, an output value of 01, which represents a Boolean, and we're going to have false, false, since we don't need any storage and we don't need dynamic invoke. Once entering this command, we'll be prompted to input a few details about this contract, but for today's tutorial, we're just going to type in the name, and I'm going to put in hello. Prior to importing the contract, it's going to ask you again for your password, and you can type it in with COZ. So what's going to happen is it's going to submit your request to import your contract, and you may have to wait a few minutes, but it will eventually come back with smart contract execution success. Once you receive that confirmation, what we can do is just run contract search and type in the contract name. In our case, it's hello. And what this is going to do is it's going to bring up the details about our contract that we just deployed. Here we can find a few details about our hello contract. It's going to have no input parameters and a return type of 1, which represents a Boolean. It's going to have no storage and no dynamic invoke. The most important thing that we need here is the hash value. So we can go ahead and copy that, and we're going to use it to invoke our contract. So what you can do is clear out your terminal, and we can run test invoke and paste in the hash value. As you can see here, our execution was successful. We have a log stating hello world, and we have a result of 1, which represents true. As you can see, it's requesting your password, and the reason for this is because we ran a test invoke, and if you were to enter your password here, what would happen is it actually runs this transaction and posts it onto the blockchain. But for today's exercise, we're just going to hit return and escape from here. Alright, so congratulations, that's the end of this Hello World tutorial video. You've now been able to write, deploy, and run your very first smart contract with NEO. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I've also linked the blog post from this video down below that contains all the materials that we covered today, and also some donation links in case you're feeling charitable. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to talk to you guys again in my next tutorial video.